Hey there, you're listening to Profoundish. Today, my co-host Weston and I are talking all about cars. And following that, Weston will have a chance to become a millionaire when he's a contestant on Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Car Edition. All right, let's get going. This is Profoundish. Welcome to Profoundish. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Alex. What's your name?
The pressure. I don't remember. It's Weston. I'm Weston.
Listen, don't stage this up for us to talk about your name again. We're not doing it.
You know, my name is a really cool name. Actually, did you realize last episode we never did? I was thinking about this.
Of course we did it, and now here I am bringing it up again. It's me. I'm just jealous, I swear.
You're going to change your name legally to Weston. Steph's going to be upset.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. She respects you and she likes you a lot, so maybe she wouldn't hate that. I don't know. Weston, what is new with you, my friend?
God, what is new? It's,
what have you been up to?
I was just kind of telling you off camera, I'm getting into the cyberpunk anime. By the time this episode comes out, that will be old news, everybody. But I've been getting into the cyberpunk anime. I haven't finished it yet, but it's quite a ride considering I've played the game before. So like recognizing the different locations and sounds and stuff like that have been crazy. I'm back in school and have been for weeks now. So I've been like doing school stuff, work stuff. I've been recording Let's Play episodes on my gaming channel, which is, I haven't been recording solo rather than streaming in a long time. I've just been doing my thing, you know? What's up?
Yeah,
what's new with you?
Oh, not too much. Just kind of the same stuff, working on a lot of things, working on some Profoundish stuff. The Jam and Chats are back. Check those out every Tuesday night. Really just kind of keeping busy, but you mentioned something to me a moment ago, and I kind of want to circle back to it.
Okay.
So you mentioned, going to work, right?
Yeah. Now,
there's something that you do when you go to work, and you do it every single day.
Okay.
And and you have to do it for about, if I were to guess, I think around 35 to 40 minutes one way.
How do you know my morning poops cycle? How do you know about this? I clock into work and I go straight to the bathroom.
Are you telling me, are you pulling a 40-minute poop time?
Okay, not at work, but if I can help it, sure.
Well, you know
it's
what?
a battle in there, man. It's a battle.
Well, not only is it a battle, but also it's a safe place. Because let's face it, you're in there for 40 minutes. You're only going for 10, if that. The other 30, you're scrolling or you're looking at something, right? I mean, come on.
Listen, there's a reason it's called the porcelain throne, all right? I'm going to spend some time on my throne, god dang it, where I'm in charge.
I never feel more like a king until my pants are at my ankles on a seat. Let's face it.
Do you leave your pants around your ankles, or if you're at home, do you just kick your pants off and say, screw it?
Do you want the honest answer?
Because, I mean, if you're going to be there for 40 minutes, you might as well, right?
If you want the honest answer, it depends on the severity of the number 2 that I'm having to do. If it's pretty rough, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be a rough run. So then that's when I take them off.
I'm fighting for my life every single time. The pants are off, the shirt's off. It's just me and God in that room.
Shout out to our, to a series that, a short series that Weston wrote called Hey Dave. There's actually a scene where he's on the toilet. Yeah. Did you like that sound design? Did you hear all that? All the feet squeaking on the floor?
Well, so it's funny that you asked, did you like that sound design? I was watching that and like, yep, that's me. Moaning and groaning on camera for anyone to see.
That was so great. You did so well. That was such a great scene.
You can imagine I had mixed feelings about it, but it's just because it was me. I was like, oh boy.
Of course you did. You wrote the dang thing.
I know.
Well, it's funny because my favorite part about that at the end, when the credits roll, definitely check this out if you're listening to this. Check out Hey Dave. It's really fun. But anyway, so I just love at the very end. You're like, and then you hang up the phone, and here's a big one, and then it goes to the credits, and then all you just hear is like other people in the bathroom, like flushing their toilets, and you're still squirming around, like
it's
silently.
The big one. The insinuation being that like I'm just so constipated up that like this is it. I'm about to have a heart attack. Like I die on this toilet right now.
But goodness, you know what? You're right though. There's something special about just taking off the pants all the way, just being able to kind of just spread your legs as far as you need and just be there for a while, and just take care of business as you need. Now, we don't have to sit on this for too long, no pun intended, but I do want to ask, are you a scroller? Do you do the phone scrolling? Or do you an old book?
I mean, before the smartphone, yeah, like a book or something like that to read, but I mean, now that smartphones are a thing, yeah, of course. A scroller, or you're watching a video on YouTube or something like that. You could be in the middle of watching a show on Netflix. You're like, I gotta poop, and you just switch over to your phone instead of the TV or whatever, and just continue on as you're going. The phone is just so vital.
This is the world that we live in. You can take TV with you on the toilet, but we digress. A fun digression. Is that a word? Digression? Is that the...
A fun-gression. Yeah, digression is a word. And it is the word you were looking for, yeah. So I
just want to make sure. So that was fun, but let's go back to what we were saying before. So what that 35 to 40-minute thing you do before and after work, what else could that be, Weston? What do you think I'm referencing here?
Oh, I know you're referencing my daily commute to work and from work. Yep.
Your commute, and there's something particular about commutes that I want to talk about, and it is vehicles. Cars, right?
Okay.
Now, yeah, cars. We're talking cars today. Today is the car episode. That's what's been decided.
It's the car episode!
It's the car episode! That's right. Thank you. I was hoping you'd remember that callback. It's the car episode!
We have to put at least as much energy into car episode as we did sandwich episode. Come on.
We have to. And that's when we have to visualize it too, right? There's tires flying everywhere. There's oil in the sky. It's just nasty. What else is in there? This is going to be telling of how little we know about cars, but...
So you're asking the wrong guy.
Well, that's why I thought it'd be fun to talk to you today about this.
Monkey wrenches are flying.
Because... Just monkeys. Because when it comes to cars, we're monkeys.
Bunch of monkeys. Literally monkeys in giant 2-ton metal contraptions of death. That's what we are.
Well, actually, that sounds like a mini game in Super Monkey Ball, but we'll go back to that because that really does sound like something. But I wanted to bring this up because I was thinking just this past weekend. I'll start this off here. I had a problem, and what it was I went out to go home. Actually, I went out on my lunch break. I was just going to go somewhere in my car, and I noticed that the tire pressure was. I was at like 9 psi. It was completely flat, and I'm thinking because I did use the gauge, and that's what it showed me. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? So I'm filling it up, thinking I got to go. What happened? Well, it turns out I didn't notice at first, but I gave it a second glance, and I had a big screw in my tire. Thinking, oh, this is the last thing I need. I just bought these new tires months ago, just a few months. It's like, this is not what I need. And I was thinking, there's not many adult issues I have. Like, okay, I worded that poorly. So, being a grown-up, there's all kinds of things you got to deal with, right?
Yeah.
One of my least favorite grown-up things to deal with are car problems. They're always inconvenient. You know what I mean? They always cost you a lot of money, an arm and a leg. It's just, it's horrible. So that's actually why I wanted to bring this up, because I would love to know any maybe car problem stories that you've had that have really made it inconvenient for you. I've got a handful, but that's kind of what I was thinking about today. And then, of course, in general, just what do you think about cars? You got a favorite?
I do have a favorite, actually. I'm not a car guy, though. Yeah, but I do have a favorite, and it's purely aesthetic reasons, because I'm not a car guy, so I'm not a real gearhead in that way. But yeah, I was going to say, when you said your tire pressure is low, I was about to say, oh, well, it is starting to get colder outside. When it gets real cold, you can have lower tire pressure than normal.
Right.
My car has a reader built into it somehow or other. And from the inside on my screen in my car, I can actually check the tire pressure. And I'll notice that I've got an automatic tire pressure thing. I've got a little screen you can hook up to like Bluetooth on your phone and check tire pressure, fuel consumption, blah blah blah. For those of you that care, it's a Toyota Camry of the 2012 variety. So it's got a little computer in there. It doesn't do a lot, but it does a couple things. And one of them is it can check my tire pressure. And once it rolls around into winter, because I don't keep my tires very inflated, apparently, in the morning, it always gives me the notice like, oh, tire pressure low. Would you like to check them or whatever? And I'll check to make sure it's not stupid low. But I'm like, okay, well, once I start driving, the tires will warm up and heat up the air inside and pressure the tires. But then, 9 PSI is too low.
Yeah.
It was
too low. Literally 9. You know what's cool? What's interesting is that my car, which since we're talking cars, I drive a Honda Accord is what I drive, 2016, and my car is newer than yours by a few years. 4 years is a lot in car years, and it does not have that feature. Like it does. It tells me a lot of cool things, but I don't have a way, I don't think, to have it show me the actual PSI like number for each tire.
I bet,
I have to,
unless it's not set up, it got like disconnected and someone working on your car never put it back together. I bet your car, I've been in your car, I bet it's got it somewhere somehow.
How
like
could
in a
it not?
menu.
That's what I'm thinking. How could it not? It's got a lot of menu stuff, and I've dug through it. But either way, I made one of the best purchases I made for my car was just like $40 or $50, and it's like a portable, just like a tire pressure or sorry, air thing.
Yeah.
So basically,
like
I don't have to
metal
go get
thing that you shove in your tire.
Yeah. Well, no, not that. I mean, like the actual thing that like you plug it into your cigarette lighter, and then you can air up your tires right there portably. Not the gauge. So like it's really convenient, and if you don't have one, I recommend it because it's super easy. I don't have to find a gas station that has some crummy old, $1 for air, and it goes for not long enough. You know how that goes. But
I don't know how that goes because conveniently, I've never had to actually pay for my own air. If I need my tires aired up a little bit, I just run to my parents' house. My dad has his own air compressor in his garage. I'm like, hey, could you top me off?
Top me off. Play it again, Sam.
I'm fortunate that I still live close enough to my parents. And my dad, originally, before he went into his line of work, wanted to work with cars. He was going into auto mechanics or whatever. So he knows a lot more about cars. So if I ever have a question or issue, I'm like, hey, you want to take a look at this real quick? And he gets all excited and looks at the car or whatever. But I'm fortunate in that way.
Well, it's good to have that that knowledge somewhere at your disposal. And it's funny because I'm kind of in a similar boat. My stepdad taught me I would consider the bare minimum for car maintenance, right? So if I need to change my own oil, I can do it. I don't, for the record. I have somebody do it just for time, just the convenience of that. But then I can also obviously change a tire, and I can do basic things like that. But past that, I'd have to ask him the same question because it's complicated. It's a monster in there. So that's why it's always so stressful when something goes wrong because it can also be dangerous depending on what issue happens. Mm-hmm. Like if you're not sure, you don't know. You could be driving and you really shouldn't be, and you don't even know. That's
actually so it's been a long, long time since I've had to worry about changing my own oil. I don't even know if I remember how to do it or not. I've had to change my own tire before, but yeah, whenever I get I need a tire rotation, oil change, whatever, I always bring it in, and I just pay to have someone else do it anyway, because the one thing that they always do as well is they just check a bunch of other random stuff and let you know what's going on with your car. For things that I'm not going to necessarily think to look for, or even if I did, I might not know what I'm looking at. So they'll be like, by the way, also this filter needs changed or whatever. And I know some people don't trust, they're trying to sell you something, so not everyone trusts what they're told or whatever, but depending on what they're telling me, and they give me a diagnostic or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that seems reasonable. You got the extra part? Oh, yeah, we got the extra part. All right, here's extra money. Go take care of it for me. I don't want to deal with my car any more than I really necessarily need to. I don't trust myself with that. I'd rather trust someone else to do it if possible. So, that's what I do as well.
Plus, they're not, unless they want a lawsuit on their hands, which they don't, they're not going to do anything to harm your car. They might try and upsell you, but they're not going to, try and put something to harm you. in the way or anything.
Yeah, I'm
like
never
that.
worried about them trying to bust my car. Just like you said, they might be trying to upsell you something you don't need, but like I'll make that decision there. But the point is, because they're trying to upsell you that stuff, they're looking for stuff that I might not think to look for. So I'm like, it works for me. That's fine.
So tell me your most inconvenient car problem story. Do you have a good one?
The most inconvenient, dead of winter, coming home from work when I worked nights. It's like 11 at night. I'm halfway between home and where I work. So like I'm halfway through that 35-minute commute, right? I'm like 20 minutes one way, 20 minutes the other way. Big pop, loud pop. No. Don't know what happened exactly, but I suspect it's my tire. I feel a bunch of dragging and screeching or whatever. Pull over best I can. Yep. Back tire exploded. Just flat out exploded.
Oh.
Dead of winter, freezing cold outside. I am not really properly dressed for this. Don't know why I'm not. I'm just not. My phone battery is at like 5% from working all day. I turn on the flashlight on it because I can't see, and it dies, and I have to like keep the car running and keep like plugging it back into my car to keep it running so I can look at the flashlight. Don't know what had happened, what I had hit or whatever. Car tires, shreds. I do have a spare tire though. So I do have tools. So I start unbolting, whatever it's called, the part on your tire to remove your tire. I get the spare tire out or whatever. I can't get the old tire off. It will not come off the axle or whatever the heck it's called. I'm not a gearhead. I don't know what these parts are called. I know what I'm doing. I don't know what it's called. So I take all the bolts off, cannot get the tire off. It's fused to the axle. Like legit fused, will not come off. Can't do it. I've been pulling at this thing. I've been outside for like half an hour, literally, just trying to get this tire off. Can't do it. Finally have to give up, put the spare tire back in my car, and I just drive the thing screeching and like sparking, and for 20 minutes back home. Yes.
Oh my god!
I said, well, I'm not calling whatever a tow for a few $100s. I'm just gonna screech this thing all the way home. And so that's what I did. And it was really late at night. I'm like, I'm not gonna call my dad or anybody. It's the middle of the night. I'll just deal with this in the morning. And I just went to bed. And the next morning, got out to look at the damage. If I thought it was exploded when it had happened, it was shreds when I made it back home, as you might well imagine.
My gosh.
I do end up, I'm trying to get this thing off. Actually, one of my neighbors saw me mucking around with my car and came out and tried to help me get my tire off. None of us working together get this darn tire off. I end up calling my dad, and we get, he had a sledgehammer. He brought a sledgehammer, and we used a hammer to knock this tire off. Don't know why it was so fused. Truly do not understand. It took a sledgehammer hitting to the back. Like we had to jack the car up and just sledgehammer to the back of the tire. Not just the tire, but the whole dang wheel to get it off, so we could get the spare on, so that I could actually drive around and go get a new tire.
Oh my gosh!
It was that was pretty inconvenient.
That sounds inconvenient. I wonder if it was it couldn't have been. Was it that cold at the time? You said it was winter.
Yeah, it was winter. I suspect when I had been going to go get my tires rotated at this one place, I don't think they were. I think they were changing my oil and never rotating my tires, and I'm not observant enough to know. And I think just over time, I don't know if it had rusted to it or from just the elements or what. I don't have a clue what had happened. That was my suspicion. I'm like, if my tires were being routinely rotated, which means being removed and put back on in different positions, why would it ever be fused? So unless there was some other act of God that melted the darn thing to the metal, I don't know how else it would have done that. I don't know.
My gosh.
But it was stuck. I couldn't get off. My neighbor couldn't get off. Us working together couldn't get it off. My dad had to come with a hammer. So
man. Well, that's pretty inconvenient.
Yeah, that's my inconvenient story.
I've got a handful, and I'm trying to think of which one I would tell right now, because I tend to have a lot of inconvenient stories. Thankfully, nothing too dangerous, but horribly inconvenient. I'd say this is mainly a user error that I will shout. So this is more on my side, but I remember I was leaving, same as you. I was leaving work, For me, it was I just got a new job at the time, and this is the job when I was a manager of a retail store, and I was really excited. I felt good. I was training. I was figuring it out. I was excited. A new role. I felt like this is, at the time at least, really what I wanted to. I was making the right career decisions. I felt really good, right?
Yeah.
And I had I think it was a podcast. I don't remember which podcast it was, but I hopped in my car, and I just start backing out. And I was so excited. Now, this is before I had like a backup cam. So you have to look behind you, which, by the way, you need to do anyway, even if you have a backup cam. But anyway, I just wasn't looking, and I just backed straight out because I was just excited, I guess. I was just in a great mood, listening to my podcast, whatever. Well, here's the thing. So in the parking lot, so it's not like a full parking lot. It's just like parking spaces in front of a building, just like one row, right, of parking spaces.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know who decided to do this, but like in some parking lots, there's like light poles, and there's obviously these big like concrete fixtures around the poles, to kind of keep as a barricade from actually hitting the pole, like if a car hits it, So for some reason, they had one here, but it was like, it wasn't at the front of where you would park, because usually it's at the tail, like at the tail tippy top of a parking spot, right? This one was in between two parking spots, but dead center in between both boxes. So you'd have to kind of swerve to the right and then back to the left to kind of fully park, if that makes sense.
That sounds insane. What?
And I'm dead, and I'm not making this up. It's crazy. I'm sure it's still there. And it's... So, but anyway, I had to park there, I guess. I'm assuming there were no other cars, because I don't think I would have willingly parked there if there were other open spots. But anyway, I backed up, and since I didn't pay attention, I was backing up, and and I hit. It was mainly my front door. You may or may not recall this, because I know we were having we would have our weekly guys nights during this time. But I had a huge dent. Like I couldn't even open my front door anymore, my driver door. I'd have to crawl in through the passenger door because it was so damaged. So, just because I backed up and I hit a pole.
I must have known about that at the time if it was that bad, but I don't really remember now. But oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was inconvenient. Luckily, I could still use the car, but here's the worst part. The worst part is that I started to get estimates on getting this fixed, and it was damaged so severely that most people were saying you need just to get a new door. You can't repair this, right? Now, replacing the door completely with labor and everything would have been about $2,000. Now, for me at that time, that wasn't really in my budget, right?
Right.
And I mean, to be frank, it's still not in my budget. I don't want to spend $2,000 on a door.
Not if you can help it, yeah.
Right, yeah, no kidding. So I'm looking around, and then I go to my hometown, the town that your parents live in, and I was recommended to go to a friend of mine. Or sorry, a friend of mine knew somebody who they recommended. He said he will do it a lot cheaper. He can help you out. So I went to this guy. He was super kind, and he said, "I can actually repair your door. Don't listen to them. I can do it for like $800." Like, perfect, do it, right? So he repaired the door. There were some like scratches in it and stuff. Whatever, no big deal. I just want a functioning door again. Okay, yeah. So it's working. It's all fine and good. Months go by, and then what happens one night is it's a late winter night, and
oh, is it?
My tire explodes. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's a late winter night, and I'm getting ready to head back home. So I hop in my car, but I noticed I couldn't unlock it. So my key fob, the battery in my key fob, was dead. No big deal. Whatever. All those key fobs have a manual key, right, that you can undo and you can put it into your car. Well, here's the issue. When he repaired my door, he never repaired the lock functionality on the handle. So I couldn't unlock my door. And the issue also is that you can't, there was only one key slot, and it was in the front door. There wasn't one in the passenger door.
What? Okay. Oh, no.
So I couldn't get in. So then I thought, what am I supposed to do? So like, I can't get in because the key fob's dead. I can't get in. Like, oh no. So then what I do is I was really close to a gas station, a couple of them actually. So I went, maybe I can go buy another battery. Those little, like, circular batteries you can throw in there, right? That's what those take. I'm looking around. The number was like the C12, whatever. I don't know what it was. Neither of the gas stations had the C12. Let's just call it that.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So, and it's cold outside. I want to get home. I'm not in a great part of town. I just want to, I don't like it. So I think what ended up happening was, I think I had one of my roommates drive 30 minutes just to come get me. And then someone the next day was going to come fix my car. But talk about inconvenient. It's like one thing, oh, it's okay. I have a plan B. I can undo. Oh, nope. This guy never fixed the lock.
Gosh. I guess your plan C, hoof it to the gas station. Plan D, hoof it to a 24-hour Walmart. Walmart's got to have it, right?
God, if it would have been close, I would have, yeah.
That was actually one thing I had to do. This is actually all on my previous car. This isn't my current car. But I had both my headlights go out in the middle of the night.
When you were driving?
Yeah. So
oh my God.
Luckily, my brights were still functional. So I had to drive with my brights on all the way to, I drove, at this point I was actually in my hometown. So I drove all the way to a Walmart to buy some headlights in the middle of the night and drove those home with the brights on to pop open my car and get my actual headlights reinstalled with new lights because they had gone out.
That's hilarious.
I think I only had one or two people flash me while I was driving confusedly because like I had my brights on, but like I had no other option.
Like you don't understand. You don't get it.
So it's like, oh boy, that was kind of inconvenient as well, actually.
So I thought what might be fun here, before we go to our break in a few minutes, I thought it might be fun. Talk me through each car you've had since the beginning of your driving career. Take me through that journey. I don't think it's too many, but I can't remember all that you've driven.
No, I've only ever had two cars. I have the one I have now. Oh, so you just had
the other. Okay.
And my Corolla before. I've had two Toyotas. And for as much trouble as they've tried to give me, they've been scrappy little suckers.
I mean, Toyotas can if you treat them well, they'll last you a long time. So now, is your family a Toyota Corolla family?
No.
Oh.
No, I was gonna say, but the Corolla I think was a 2006 is what I want to say. So about 6 years apart between them. Hilariously, they were both. I'm so privileged. They were both my grandparents' cars. So like my Corolla came from my grandpa, and my Camry came from my grandma.
That's nice.
Very fortunate. Nice. I got my grandpa's car because he couldn't drive anymore. He hurt himself and he could not drive anymore, so I got his car. And my grandma got old and can't see the road, so can't drive anymore, so I got her car.
Dang. I guess that's why that happened. And I asked about your family being Toyota people just because I know sometimes families that kind of have they're partial to a particular like manufacturer, and then so you just get whatever your parents get. Yeah,
we've been around. We've had Toyota, we've had Ford, we've had a Honda of some kind. We've had several different kinds. So yeah, we've never been like a family that's dedicated to one brand of car manufacturer, whatever.
Now, since you've spent so much time with Toyota, do you think, not a sponsor by the way, but do you think that when it is time to purchase a new car, are you going to look at Toyota, or are you going to see what else the world has to offer?
It's what I would look at first because it's what I'm just more familiar with. But like I wouldn't be restricted to that by any means.
Right. My journey is a little longer, but not too long. My first car was purchased, I believe. My stepdad said, if you're listening, Big Daddy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like, I think he spent like $500 maybe $1,000 on a minivan. I don't know if you remember the minivan at all. It was actually, yes, you do. You have to, because you were in that minivan with us when we were doing stuff. We were like doing like our Julius Caesar project in that van.
Yeah, I kind of remember. I know during Julius Caesar, I was driving my truck at the time, so I usually drove myself around. But
oh yeah, you had the truck. That's right.
Yeah, because I guess I said I only had two cars. I did drive a truck for a while. That was a Ford F-150. It was my dad's truck because he was driving my car because he had to drive further for work, and my car was more fuel efficient. So I was driving a truck for a while, but it was never my truck.
That's right. I forgot about that. It was like a navy blue. It was like dark blue.
Yeah, I forget what year it was. When we got it, he had got it like really new. It was a really nice truck.
I remember it being nice. So I went through a Nissan Quest. It was a 96 Nissan Quest. It was a minivan. I at the time called it the shaggin' wagon, but let me just say there was no shaggin' going on in that wagon. It was a minivan. But the cool thing about it was it had a 6 CD changer, which sounds kind of advanced for 96. And it was really interesting too because it could be taken out of the console. And I never saw that before. So you could actually take the CD changer out of the console, put the CDs in, then place it back in.
Oh, okay.
And then it would pick them up and play them. So that was pretty cool. After that, I had a Pontiac Grand Prix 03. This is during a time when a lot of like high school students were like driving Grand Ams and Grand Prix because they were cheaper Pontiac, they were cheaper cars, and it makes sense, right? Probably a good starter car for a lot of kids. And then after that, I joined the Honda train, and I haven't stopped. So my first car that I was involved in the purchasing process was a Honda Accord 2008, and that car did me great, lasted a long time, and now I have a 2016 Honda Accord that I purchased myself, and I love it. I really do. So they just last so long. It's similar to Toyota. Once again, if you treat them well, they'll treat you well too. So I've never been into like the sporty stuff. If I were to ever go all out on a car, I'd go luxury over sporty. You know?
Yeah. When I mentioned having a favorite, as a kid, I was always really into I really wanted to get a 1976 Stingray Corvette. Ooh. Just because I think they look so super cool. But that would be like if I was an old man that needed a car that you just kept in his garage all the time. Because the car that I'd want to drive around would be like a brand new 2023, like Corvette in black, just luxury sports, just stupid, you know?
Right. Oh,
I like Corvettes.
It works. I like Corvettes. The only car that I really kind of used to drool over a little bit when I was a kid was actually the old Mustangs. I used to love the old, like the 67 Shelby Mustangs. I loved how those looked at the time. I like that old look.
I always remember people saying they were into Mustangs. I'm like, nah, I'm a Corvette man. Forget your Mustang.
You can keep your Mustang. Well, it's funny now, too, because Mustangs now, well, at least for a while, they were kind of trying to go back to the older look. For a while, they had that really ugly body style of, like, the front looked like the old cars, but the back looked like the newer Mustangs. And I remember it was just such a strange, this is like 2005 era of Mustang, and it was just so ugly, and they dropped that pretty quick. I don't know if you remember seeing those, but they were just gross. Gross. But
you're gross, Mustang, you're gross. Go home.
Go home. Remember Go Home Truck?
Go home, truck, you're drunk.
We had this idea to make for a video or something, and it was like this truck, but he was like personified. So he was like this guy, and he had a truck, but he'd be like, actually, Go Home Truck. Was it Go Home Truck? Because I just remember our joke was like he'd be laying in bed, like the guy would be laying in bed, but then his truck's headlights come on. It's like peeking through the window, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Go home, truck.
It's like, go home, truck. Go home. Leave me alone.
I don't remember the details.
I want to talk. I do, because I thought it was so funny. I want to talk. You want to come ride me for a little bit? Yeah, that's what I was like. You want to go for a ride? It's like, it's 2 a.m, truck.
Go home.
So many ideas, so little time. Speaking of little time, it is time for us to take a break. And when we come back, Weston, you're going to have a chance to win $1 million.
Oh, baby.
Ooh, we'll be right back, everybody. You're listening to Profoundish. Profoundish is brought to you in part by The Jammin' Chat. Every week, I host a show with live music, interactive games, and more. But here's the catch. The live music is improvised on the spot based on funny song topics you leave in the chat feed. So come join the fun. You can search Jammin' Chat on YouTube or go to alexduquette.net.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by A Hasty Podcast, my own personal podcast talking about life, games, media, and sometimes featuring guests. Look for it on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are back! You didn't go anywhere, did you? Are you still here?
I ran around my room to get the energy out, and now I'm sitting back down. I didn't go far.
True. You know what you really did? You just drank your 8-hour-old water coffee.
I did. How dare you share my shame with our viewers? Yeah, no, I've had this coffee sitting on my desk since this morning, and I'm drinking it now, and it's been a while.
I think did we talk about this on the pod? Maybe we haven't. I thought we did.
If we did, I don't remember talking about it on the pod. If I leave a coffee out like all day and come back home or something and it's still there, I'm not throwing it out. I'll just start drinking it like I never stopped.
And that's why you have an iron gut.
Yeah, I've got an iron gut, a superior immune system. I'm just built different.
He's hashtag built different.
I'm built tough. Ford tough.
Built tough.
This episode brought to you, but no, I'm just kidding.
Right. This episode. Weston, are you ready to be a contestant on Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Car Edition?
Oh my God, he's doing it. He's doing the show that I did.
We're back.
That's so funny because we did the sandwich episode. We got all excited about the car episode. We're like, the car episode. Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't that great? I thought we could make this kind of like a trend every so often.
I like it.
So, Weston, you know the rules of Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Car Edition, but I'll kind of explain them again quickly for those who may be new just tuning in here. So, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, a series of choices. You'll have to make a choice, and you'll either be able to, and each time you'll make a little bit of money, and each chance you'll be able to either take home the money, or you'll be able to make a new choice and go on and make even more money in the next question. And you can lead up all the way up to $1 million. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Are you sure?
I have never been more certain of anything in my life. And my life has been pretty full of certainty.
The certainty level is really high. Weston, then we should better get going here. We're going to build you your dream car today. We're going to do it. We're going to build you your dream car, and it all starts with your first question, your first choice, for 1 penny.
Okay.
Would you rather have a red car? Actually, did you say that black was your favorite for a car color? I'll change this right now.
I did not. No. I did not say that.
You said you wanted that black Corvette earlier.
Yeah, for the Corvette, I just think the black Corvette specifically looks really nice. Okay. But when I mentioned the 1976 Stingray, I want that one in red.
Well, then I'm going to ask you this. For your car that we're building you today, would you like a red car or a blue car?
Red car. Lock it in.
Done.
I don't have to even think about that.
Boom! You're already at a penny. So now,
hey, yeah.
He's already got a whole penny for this red car. Now, here's the thing, Weston. If you want to, at any time, you can leave. So if you want to walk home with this 1 penny, you're 1 penny richer, no questions asked, you're good. Would you like to move on?
Let's keep rolling, baby.
Keep on rolling. All right. Next question. This is for 10 cents. Would you rather, in your car, you can only have one, would you rather have heated seats or air-conditioned seats?
Oh. I know about heated seats. I don't know about air-conditioned seats. If it gets hot, I guess it blows air up your butt, or what?
Yeah, it blows air. It actually, Steph has it in her car, and it's actually incredible in the hot summers.
Wow, I must just be uncultured. I didn't know air-conditioned seats were a thing. I've heard of heated seats, like in the winter and everything. But not AC seats.
Mm-hmm.
AC
They're real.
seats. I think between the two, I think I hate getting into a cold car more than I hate getting into a hot car, believe it or not. I think I've got to lock it in at heated seats.
I think that is it's a fair lock-in. You now have your car starting to be built. You've got a car with heated seats, and it's nice and red. It's a nice red car with heated seats. Nothing wrong with that. Moving on.
I'm already jealous.
Wait.
Of this car.
Do you not
I
have,
already
well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Your car's blue, and it doesn't have heated seats, right?
Correct. So far, we have a car built that is the opposite of what I have. So far.
Well, listen. We're building this for you. You will be going home with this car, so don't worry.
That's the plan. Oh,
and it
baby.
just gets better.
I hope so.
All right. Next question. Would you rather, in your car, would you rather it have a built-in coffee maker or have it be a self-cleaner, and that means cleaning the inside and the outside. Or you can leave with your 10 cents.
Oh, I can't leave yet. You just brought coffee into the. I mean, the self-cleaning car sounds practical, but I mean, coffee. I'm drinking coffee I'm drinking old coffee now.
So imagine having new coffee in your car.
Do I need to keep it filled with like water, or does it like collect rainwater to refill its reservoir?
Does it all for you.
Oh my God, I want it. I want the magic coffee maker inside my car. You don't understand, actually. You don't understand the number of times I've had to go somewhere, and I always like it's like I'm a smoker or something. You know how you always have to have a cigarette in your hands or something. I'm like a coffee drinker in the sense that like I'll reach to like my cup holder for a coffee cup, and if there's nothing there, like I forgot my coffee or didn't make any, I get like physically sad. Or if it is there and it's empty, I'm just like, what a waste.
Man, the power of addiction, huh?
I know, it's a problem. I want that coffee maker in my car.
Listen, when we were piecing this together, you know, the team over at Would You Rather Be a Millionaire, we all wanted it too. It does sound really nice. But that's neither here nor there. It is time for the next question. You, my friend, have just won $1. So, let's move on.
Baby.
The next question for your car. Would you rather have your car, the tires never need replaced, or you never need to get an oil change, or leave with your $1?
Well, I don't see a reason to leave yet. I think never replace your tires or never need to change your oil. You know what? The oil change gets to be kind of annoying. You don't have to replace your tires all that often, honestly. And the oil change, I mean, to be fair, I don't change my oil nearly as often as I should either. But it's so annoying to do.
I knew you were going to say that.
God, I am so many thousands of miles over. I need to get an oil change stat.
Yes, you do, Weston. You do.
Look, I mean, what's like 10,000 miles past due? I mean, amongst friends, right?
God.
I'll get the never.
Sounds like
need
you're
to
going to
change
need this money for the damage that's going to happen to this car.
I'm driving a Toyota. That monster's not going down for any reason. It's fine.
All right,
I'll go with the oil change. Never need an oil change.
You're locking it in, Weston. You are now $10 richer. Woo. You are building this dream car. Never needs an oil change. It's got a built-in coffee maker, heated seats, and it's your favorite color of red. How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling like so far this is a dream come true. I want to know what the catch is going to be.
It sounds like a nice car, and guess what? I think it just might continue for a little bit sounding like a nice car, because it is! In fact, this car has some very, very, very special magical properties that allow for really crazy things to happen. In fact, we're going to go over that in this next question. So, in your car that you're building, for as long as you can drive, you have to choose between these two things. For as long as you drive, an equal amount of editing time on a YouTube video is completed. Or, for as long as you drive, an equal amount of time on errands and chores are completed. So errands meaning and running to the store, you got to go grocery shopping, you got to clean the house.
Listen.
Either one of those decisions. Or you can leave with your $10.
Listen, if just my videos are magically edited but from just me driving to and from work do you understand how many videos I could be pumping out? Are you prioritizing your videos over the chores that need to be done in your day-to-day life? Listen, I don't do
judge
chores. Me. Look, I'm a pig. It's a mess here, man. You've seen my table actually.
Yeah, we talked about the table. Yeah.
I think it was episode 2. You've seen my table. You see what kind of a mess I live in. Who does chores? Running to the shops? I can just order Amazon, man. I think I want my videos magically edited while I drive. That would be amazing.
I mean, that does sound pretty nice. This car's just getting nicer and nicer. And Weston, you are now $100 richer with this incredible car. Are you ready to keep going?
Yeah, I think so. I was starting to have doubts, but I think I'm ready to keep going.
I think you should. Don't give up yet. Don't walk away yet.
Okay.
Let's keep going here. Here's the $250 question. This is going to bring up another $150, but you have to choose. Your car, it physically can never go over the speed limit wherever you're at.
I never do anyway.
Okay. I didn't know that. Or...
I mean, you don't either. We would never.
Or the car stereo doesn't work.
Oh,
so you can never go over the speed limit, not even a single mile per hour. Or the car stereo, the speakers never work.
It's so annoying when you have to like pass somebody who's like not going the speed limit, but they're not going that much under the speed limit. So like, if the speed limit's like 55, right? They're going like 50. You really don't want to be going 50. Like, it's just so annoying. But to pass them at a reasonable period, like, you're going to have to go like 60 miles. You're going to have to go over a little bit, right? Just to get around the person in a decent amount of time. Especially if you're on the highway. You're not like on the interstate, on the highway. You need to get a little bit faster, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to really miss being able to do that because I think I'm going to have... I can't go without the music just not working in my car.
That sounds pretty rough, doesn't it?
You know what I mean?
Just a silent car ride all the time.
I mean, I guess I could. You know what? Actually, hilariously, I've done this before, where there was a period of time in my old car where just I didn't care for what was playing on the radio, and I didn't have like Bluetooth or whatever in that. So what I did is I had a Bluetooth speaker I carried with me in my car, and I would play music through my Bluetooth speaker from my phone. So I just played music and stuff from my phone instead of the car anyway. So actually, I've already lived that life. I've already been there and done that. But I think I'm still going to choose, I'd rather just never go over the speed limit. Because honestly, if you take that away from me, I think that honestly just means I'm going to be forced inside of my coffee-making car of my dreams to just be a better driver. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a fair answer.
Maybe even a better person.
Well, let's not go that far.
I mean, like, imagine how much road rage I just can't have anymore. I can't go faster. That's the maximum.
It's locked. You can't go faster.
So I can't get mad about it.
Or but think about it this way, though. If you are, you're just going to be madder for longer because you're going slower.
I'll take up meditation while I'm driving.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. So you're locking it in.
I'm locking it in.
Weston, you are now at $250. You've got an amazing car that will never go over the speed limit, always keeping you on the good side of the law. As long as you can drive for as long as you drive an equal amount of editing time on YouTube, or YouTube videos are completed, you never need an oil change. You got this awesome built-in coffee maker. You got heated seats, and it's a beautiful red car. How does it feel so far?
It feels like so far I'm really excited to take this thing off the lot and give it a spin.
Well, let's see if that continues, because your luck might change.
Oh, no.
Next question. You have to choose just one, or you can choose to walk away with $250 in your pocket right now. Here we go. Decide between these two. Your AC/heat always smells like body odor.
Ugh.
Or your seats are just two pieces of plywood with a seatbelt.
Oh, no. Neither of these are very nice.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I do like how this does insinuate that my two pieces of plywood, if I go with that option, are also heated pieces of plywood.
That's correct. They are heated.
I've got just hot wood that I'm sitting on wherever I drive.
Hot wood, baby.
Okay, come take a seat on my hot wood. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Excuse me.
Phrasing.
Profoundish. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, so I don't have a very powerful schnoz as it is, all right?
Okay.
I don't smell very well with my nose. My nose is not very good at what it's supposed to do. And I can always put some kind of air fresheners in the car, and you only have to heat the car, like, when it's cold out,
Remember,
in the
it's
summer.
AC too, though.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
so
just anytime the air's blowing out,
it just always smells like BO. If I do the plywood seats, I am still allowed to furnish the plywood. Like, I can put cushions on it or whatever.
That's not what's stated here. It's 2 pieces of plywood. But
yeah,
no, I'm not going to bargain with you on this.
I could sit on like some pillows or something. Like, there's no magic preventing me from doing that, right?
You know what? You're right. It is your vehicle at the end of the day. You can put something on there, but yeah, they're not. But they are just standard 2 pieces of plywood with a seat belt.
Man, I really don't want to sit on plywood. You know.
Yeah, I know.
That is a real game. That is. I am irked by. I'm just thinking. So here's my thought process. If it were just me, if it were just me driving, no passengers ever, I'm going with the BO, lock it in, done deal. My nose will get over it. It doesn't hardly work anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, if I have to like drive someone else around and the car just permanently smells like BO because it's blasting BO air into your face, whether it's hot or cold, just period. I think I have to, if I ever want to have anyone in my car, I think I'm going to have to go with the freaking plywood one. But it'd be so uncomfortable. I'll just have to put cushions or something down, you know?
So you're locking in your plywood seats? Hello?
I think, okay. I was like...
You disappeared for a second.
No, I didn't disappear. No, it was Discord was like thought I was a fan. I was over here just going. Ah!
I'm suppressing you.
I'm locking in. You know what? Screw everybody else. I'm locking in BO air.
Oh, okay.
I'm
You're
locking it in
the BO air,
the BO AC or the BO heat. I'm locking it in. It's going to stink. I'm going to just have my car filled with so many air fresheners. It might not be able to mask it. But look, I'll be able to sit comfortably wherever I go. Most of the time, I'm driving alone. So I'm not sacrificing my comfort for someone else's nose. I'm locking in BO.
Hey, you got it. You've locked in BO, and I guess it's better to smell flowery BO than sit on some wood. I understand, especially for a long period of time.
Right?
You know that's how it goes. It's like you spray the Febreze in the bathroom after you go, and it's like now it just smells like poop and flowers. You know.
But I drive so much, I cannot be sitting on hot wood for that long, man.
Well, listen, I understand, and don't worry about it, because think about this. You now have $500 ready to go at your disposal, but you can get even more, maybe even $1,000 if you're able to answer and go through with one of these next questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm terrified, but I'm ready.
$1,000 question. You have to choose. Every time you sit in the driver's seat, a big, smelly, dead rat appears in the glove compartment, and then you have to dispose of it, of course. Or, once a week, at random, your speakers will work, but they will only be able to blast Baby Shark on repeat during your entire commute. It's very loud, and the volume cannot be controlled.
No! If only my chat from my gaming channel could hear us now.
That's exactly, yep.
Daddy Shark, do. Oh my God. Did you say the smelly rat is already dead or alive?
Yeah, so every time you sit in the driver's seat, so let's just assume every time you're getting in to go driving your car, a big, dead, smelly rat spawns, just appears, is deposited into your glove compartment. Now, you don't have to do anything about it, but obviously the smell will probably fuse together with the BO, and that wouldn't be too good. And then, or this is once a week on a random work day on your commute, the whole time Baby Shark is on loop, very loud.
Rat.
The only time your speakers will work.
Rat. Lock it in. Rat. I'm going with the dead smelly rat. We are not randomly looping Daddy Shark. It's probably easier to get over, but I'm not doing it. I get enough of it as it is. Look, the smelly rat, once you it's every time I sit down in the driver's seat. That's pretty often, but I'm a magic man. I'm a bit of a magician. Can you imagine the weird magic tricks I could pull off if I can just summon rats into existence every time I sit in my car? I'd be like, you want to see a trick?
Call me the Rat Man.
Come with me to my car. We sit down and I'm like, open up the glove box. And they're like, oh my God, there's a rat. I'm like, I know there is. Take it. Take it out.
No. First, here's what happens. Here, hop in my car. Okay. First thing they do is, God, what's that smell? And then you go, just wait till you open up the glove compartment. And then you open it up.
Dead rat.
Just a nasty rat.
And I'll be like, take it out. They'll be like, no. And I'll put on my gloves that I just permanently keep in my car. Like, I'll just have, like, you know, dishwashing gloves so that I can just wash them or whatever and reuse them. Chuck the rat out, right? Just chuck it out. Close up the glove compartment. But the thing is, I'll have stood up and gotten to the passenger side to do that. So when I come back into my car, I have to sit down again. And after I've already done that, I'll be like, hey, open that glove box. There's another rat. No, open it. And it'll be another rat.
I just love the idea. That's hilarious in its own right, that loop. But I just love the idea of you sitting down, like you know it's coming. You sit down, and then you just hear just a thud in the glove compartment, like, oh, God, it's back. All right, Weston, you're locking in the big, smelly, dead rat in your glove compartment. You are now $1,000 richer. You've got the dead rat in the glove compartment. You got body odor, air. You physically can't go over the speed limit anymore, but you've got, as long as you're driving, an equal amount of time on your YouTube video is going to be edited. Never need an oil change. You got a built-in coffee maker, heated seats, and you got that beautiful red car. How are you feeling so far as a 1,000-aire?
I'm feeling like this car stinks, but I still want it.
Well, listen, you could still make it to that million. Let's see if you can. This next question, if you pick out this next question, you'll be a proud owner of $10,000. Here we go.
Oh, boy. Oh, baby.
Make your choice. Every time you park your car, you'll randomly be force-fed a small cube of congealed pig blood by an angry chef. Or every time you park your car, you will be required to force-feed a shot of vinegar to an innocent child. I do want to say this. It's force-fed, but there's no violence happening to the child. I just want to make that clear.
Am I ever going to get in trouble by an angry parent and or the law for force-feeding this child?
Parents are compliant. Parents are compliant.
Does the child spawn into existence like the rat does for me to feed?
Yeah. So the chef spawns and, yes, correct. The chef spawns with the congealed pig blood and the kid spawns as well. Parents are aware of this. You're not violent to the kid, but the kid does not want it. So it's going to take a little bit of, little cajoling to get this kid to take the vinegar.
Is it the same kid every time?
Different kid every time.
Oh, okay. I was hoping that, like, if I choose the kid one, I'll be raising this small child to one day be like my arch nemesis that wants to murder me.
It's the perfect setup, like the
for years this man tortured me with vinegar. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Arch villain arc or whatever.
Yes,
oh my
exactly.
God.
So once again, because there's a lot to read, just in case, you randomly, every time you park, randomly force-fed a small cube of congealed pig blood by an angry chef, or every time you park your car, you will be required to force-feed a shot of vinegar to an innocent kid.
Oh my God. I love the idea that it's an angry chef too. It's not just like, he's not just handing me this pig blood cube. He's angry. And it's not my fault.
Yeah, he's not happy. He doesn't want to be there either.
I feel like just taking the cube of pig blood, like, I feel like I would get, like, eventually I would get over the taste and disgustingness of pig's blood congealed into a cube and just eating that. I would get over that, I think. It would not be pleasant. But, like, he wouldn't even have to force feed you after a while. Like, you just be ready for it. You're, like, you're parked and then you just open your mouth. Oh, you know it's coming anyway. Eat it, go. You move on your day very quick. God, this is the worst question I could possibly ask. If I'm force feeding the kid, is he struggling? Like, do I have to pin a child down and, like, actually spoon feed vinegar to a kid? Like, how violent do I have to be?
So there's going to be no, like, you're not going to be physically harming the child. I will say that. Just for safety reasons, that's not going to be happening. Okay. We have child abuse laws in place for a reason. Okay.
Oh, you're taking away my fun.
However, this kid is not wanting it. So it's going to take some, you might have to kind of hold a shoulder back or open his mouth or whatever. But he doesn't want the vinegar.
I think if they're going to, like, struggle, right? I'm not, like, if the kid's going to, like, struggle, close his mouth, whine, scream, shake or whatever, I'd rather just take the pig's blood myself. Because I don't really like children as a rule. Some children are great. Some children are pleasant. they're well-behaved, well-mannered. I'm not the biggest fan of children. So my first instinct was like, yeah, shovel the vinegar down their throat. But then I was like, okay, one, that's awful and mean and terrible. It makes me probably a horrible person. Come at me. But honestly, it just sounds like such an inconvenience. It's just, time could. I'm trying to go. I'm parked. I'm trying to get to an appointment. Now I have to shovel vinegar into a kid's face.
I gotta go. Come on, kid.
I gotta get. You're coming with me. No,
I gotta get to work.
I'll just take the cube of pig's blood from an angry chef every time. We'll get to be friends.
And like you accidentally kind of get your butt up off the seat. You're trying to push in the passenger seat like into his mouth, and then you sit back down. Then you hear the flump, like the flump from the rat again. Like, oh god, the rat's back, and you're just getting so stressed.
Oh god, the rat's back.
The kid's all scared. Okay. So are you locking in the congealed pig blood?
Oh, God, I'm going to lock in the congealed pig blood.
You got it? Weston, you are now $10,000 richer. We've only got 3 questions left. Let's get on to your $25,000 question. If you choose one of these, you're only going to be 2 questions away from $1 million. You're almost there. Your dream car, I know it's still the car of your dreams. Here it is.
Less so than it was, but...
well, that's for me to decide. I came up with the questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah. You're right, though.
Hey. Okay, so here's your next question for $25,000. So you have the choice to either pick these 2 or leave with your $10,000. You do have that choice. Remember, you can. Here we go. Would you rather have this happen? Every time you're stopped at a red light, every single one of your inner thoughts are blasted outside the car to those surrounding you. Anything.
Oh, boy.
Even if it's a quick second. Anything. It's like a speaker. It's a megaphone. Or every time you're stopped at a red light, any clothes you have on immediately disappear. You're completely naked. The clothes will not reappear until you're in motion again.
I just imagine you're rolling up to the stoplight. Someone's already up there ahead of you, and someone on the passenger side looks over and sees you stop, and they look forward, and they look back at you, and you're naked. I love that. I just love anyone that happens to notice. You know what I mean?
And some people will, too, more than others. If you're in a car, and they're in a car next to you, they'll just see maybe you're shirtless, but you got to realize there's trucks. There's trucks that are higher up.
Yeah, I know what you're looking at. You like what you see?
It's lonely on the road.
It's lonely to road alone. Take this.
That's good.
Because I am leaning towards the nudity only because, like, as a man, yeah, anyone that can see me shirtless it's not going to cause that much of a ruckus. I mean, someone's going to be like, I saw a shirtless dude in traffic the other day. That was so weird. No one's really going to see the parts of me that I care about. Right?
Yeah.
No one's going to really see my junk very easily or very often. But it does come back around to the, like, if I have a passenger in my car, that might be kind of embarrassing. You know what I mean?
It's like your first date. Listen, I'm going to explain. I'm not trying to make advancements. There's just this weird thing that happens every time I'm at a stoplight.
Listen, every time I stop at a stoplight, I will be naked. No, I will not be stripping. I just will be naked. You're going to have to accept these terms.
Will you accept me for me?
Hey, meet a girl at a club, like, hey, we should go back to your place. Oh, okay. You drive. No. You drive. You don't get to see me like that yet. No, I'm not ready.
Please, trust me on this. You drive.
I think I'm going to go with blasting my thoughts out. Because 99% of them are going to just be like road rage, me just generally angry at traffic because I am just an angry driver. And the other 1% is just going to be me completely checked out. Like I just random thoughts about nothing inconsequential. Like I'll get into arguments with myself about just political nonsense or religious debates or just whatever the heck's popped in my head that day. That's like the other 1%. It's nothing personal. It's just random like conversations to myself, right? So I don't think I'm worried about that getting out there if someone knows that. Oh, look at this idiot! He's freaking guy. He doesn't even have his turn signal on, and he's in the third lane. Like
they're just gonna hear someone just cursing out loud a lot, like whatever.
Yeah, no one's gonna care. I'm gonna go with that one. Lock in that blasting out my thoughts.
Weston, you are now $25,000 richer. You're so close to that million. You have an incredible car. You really do. You have a car that every time you're stopped, your inner thoughts are blasted out loud. Every time you park your car, you'll randomly be force-fed a small cube of congealed pig blood by an angry chef. Every time you sit in the driver's seat, too, don't forget this, a big smelly rat appears in the glove compartment that you got to dispose of. You also have BO smelling AC and heat. You physically can never go over the speed limit, but as long as you drive, an equal amount of editing time on a YouTube video is completed. You never need an oil change. You've got a built-in coffee maker, heated seats, and a beautiful red car. How you feeling? You got 2 questions left. Think you're going to make it to $1 million?
I know I'm going to make it to $1 million, baby.
Well, then let's get rolling. The second to last question. For $100,000, you can either pick one of these two or leave and stick with your $25,000. That's a good chunk of money, Weston.
It is a good chunk of money.
All right.
I could do a lot of things with that money.
You could. Maybe like one of these things. No, this isn't. Doesn't. Never mind. That didn't make any sense. So, two choices. Never have writer's block again.
Oh my
but
God.
But also, because you are a writer, right? A good writer. Never have writer's block again, but also never have a beard again.
Oh my God.
Or you never get called into work past your normal hours that you work. You're never coming in on your days off. You're never pestered by anybody. When you're gone, and when you're there, but it's completely shut off. You're cut off from work as soon as you leave. But you can never play video games for sheer enjoyment again. You can still stream, but you can never just sit down and play a video game with yourself ever again.
God, I'm already there, man.
Oh, that's so sad.
No, I do have my comfort games. I'm lying. So sometimes I'm like that. I'll come home, it'll be a long day, and I'll be like lying in bed, just decompressing. Like, I kind of want to play a game, but also like that sounds like so much work.
Oh,
and it's just so sad when playing a video game sounds like work.
It's sad, but I can relate, my friend. Trust me.
But I think this was pretty clear to me. I would rather, because while never being called into work when I'm not supposed to be there sounds amazing. If I never got writer's block again, I don't know. Maybe I'll become just the best freaking published author ever and not have to maybe I'll just be an author. You know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah.
I won't have a beard anymore, but I think that's everyone else's problem. They will forever miss bearded Weston. You know what I mean? This has been a blessing to the earth, my beard. And honestly, this car is stripping it away from everyone else, not me.
Hey, that's fair. If you're not as connected to it, then you can have this $100,000 right now. Are you locking in? Never having writer's block again, but losing the beard?
For never having writer's block ever again, my chin will see the light of day for the first time since 2009.
Holy crap, that's a long time, Weston. You now are a proud owner of $100,000. Congratulations. We only have one question left, and your car is looking better than ever. Here we go. By the way, I didn't even mention for that last question, that was just a feature that just kind of came with your car that automatically happened. I didn't say that, but use your imagination. All right. For the final question, the final thing that your car will be able to do for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure? Because you can still walk away right now with this $100,000. You've got an incredible car that smells bad with a dead rat and congealed pig blood, but it is red, and you've never have writer's block. That's pretty good for $100,000. I mean, I'm just saying. And you get this new car.
If I'm committed to shaving my beard for this, then I am committed to this final question. There is no going back now. There's nothing this car can do now in this final question short of straight outright murdering me that I'm afraid of. Nothing. Bring it on, baby.
All right. He said it, not me. Let's go. The $1 million question. You have to choose. For every mile you drive, you gain 1 subscriber on YouTube, but you're universally hated across the entire internet.
Oh, I'm excited.
Or, I know, right? Or you immediately, because of the car, get 50,000 subscribers who really like you and support you, but you can never surpass that number, ever. So for every mile you drive, you gain 1 subscriber. But you're universally hated. Or immediately get 50,000 subscribers who like you, but you will never surpass that number.
It's the never surpassing that 50,000 number. Listen, I put 100,000 miles on my last car. I've doubled that number on one car alone. I've got a lot of life to live. I've got lots of cars I can go through. And you know what? I don't care if everybody hates me. I don't care if you love me or you hate me. If
you hear this, everybody?
Thinking about me, if you're thinking about me, I'm winning. So you know what? I'll take your subscriber every 1 mile, and I'll take your hatred. I will take your loathing. I will take your despising attitudes towards me, and I will eat it up and laugh back at you.
Oh, that's evil. You could have just told everybody you're a sellout. That's easier.
I have never pretended to not be a sellout.
That's fair. You really haven't, and I've always appreciated that about you, your honesty. So, Weston, are you locking in? For every mile you drive in this car, you will gain 1 subscriber, but you are hated by everybody on the internet.
Use your anger. It feeds me.
You're locking it in. You may be hated, Weston, but congratulations. You've got the car of your dreams, giving you all of these things. You've got a car that's going to give you a lot of subscribers that all hate you. You'll never have writer's block again, but you'll never have a beard. Anytime you're stopped at a red light, every single one of your thoughts are going to be blasted outside the car to those surrounding you. Every time you park the car, don't forget, you'll be randomly force-fed a small cube of congealed pig blood by an angry chef. Doesn't end there, because this car also, anytime you sit in the driver's seat, a big smelly dead rat appears in the glove compartment. Your AC and heat smells like BO. You physically can never go over the speed limit, but hey, as long as you're driving and an equal amount of editing time on a YouTube video is completed, you never need your oil changed. You got a built-in coffee maker to keep you prippy and preppy. You got heated seats, and it's a beautiful red car. Weston, congratulations. You are now a millionaire. Give it up for Weston, everybody. How does it feel?
I feel like this has been a life-changing experience. I look forward to all of the hate comments and the dislikes. It only feeds the algorithm. And all of those awful things that the car does, like the rats, that just sounds like a good vlog right there. It just keeps getting better.
You know what's funny? I came up with that last question, and I thought, I know what his answer is going to be. I know it. It's going to be a no-brainer for him. And I was right. He did it.
It's like, it wasn't... I love the idea that because I get this car, I lose my beard permanently. And that's the moment the internet universally hates me.
It kind of tells a story.
Is that beardless Magic Man Mo is like nega Magic Man Mo? Like the nega chin from Fairly Odd Parents or whatever? It's the evil version of me is beardless me.
That's a memory. I forgot about that. That's hilarious. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I loved the Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Sandwich Edition, so I thought we could make this a trend here and there. I thought it was a lot of fun. I loved that one.
I like how with this... Yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to I like with the sandwich, the implication is that by the end you have to eat like an awful sandwich that's just horrible. But by the end of this, I end up with a car that I feel actually pretty happy about.
That's good. There's just a lot of weird stuff in between.
There's a lot of weird stuff in between, but I've got $1 million now, and I mean, like, with that money, I could buy like a second car if I ever just get tired of the BO and I just need an off day. You know what I mean?
That's true. And at the end of the day, we're both $1 million richer. You know, I mean, I had to eat one of my mom's toes and stuff, but I mean, like, we did it. We did it.
God, man, we made it.
That was that was the car episode. Woo! So much fun. But Weston, I think it's time for us to go now.
It's time to say goodbye. How does that song go?
I don't know what you're singing. I thought you were singing like this. Goodbye, farewell.
Farewell. There's like so long Auf Wiedersehen, saying goodbye.
But I don't know if that's the same song.
I don't think it is. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I was inventing a song on the spot. I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Apparently, it's time to say goodbye.
It is. Weston, where can people find us on the internet?
Well, of course, you have been listening to Profoundish. You can continue listening to it on whatever site you're listening to us on right now. But if you would like to tweet at us, we are at ProfoundishPod. You can Instagram us at ProfoundishPod. And you can TikTok us at ProfoundishPod. That's where I think that's all the Profoundish Pod things we've got going on so far. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We have a YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button and or favorite and or 5 stars. Rate this episode and our show in any way you can, whether that's likes, ratings, subscriptions, whatever you got, do it. It helps us so god dang much.
It does. I'm going to keep talking like he does. Hey, Weston, where can people find you?
You can find me, all my stuff is over at westonhasty.com. It's a landing page for all of the things that I do. I would like to, in particular, advertise my YouTube gaming channel called Magic Man Mo. That's where I do most of my stuff. It's all gaming related. But I also do like my own personal podcast called A Hasty Podcast. I just talk about myself basically for an hour about every week. And I also have a poetry blog, if you're into that kind of thing, over at hastilymadedecision.com.
Hastilymadedecision.com.
If you want to follow me on my socials.
Block.
Right, I have no writer's block. I'm going to be churning stuff out all the time. You can follow me on my socials at Weston Hasty. I've got Twitter, Instagram, my own TikTok. There you go. Where can we find you?
I was going to say, you can follow me by my name, Alex Duquette. I'm on YouTube, or you can go to alexduquette.net to see everything. I do TV show theme song medleys, where I take a bunch of little TV show theme songs and put them together into one song. It's a lot of fun. I also do a weekly improv music show called Jam and Chat on YouTube. It's Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. Check that out. Come by, say hello. Give me a song title to sing about. Weston left one for me to sing, and I might be singing it. As of the recording this, there's a Jam and Chat tonight, and I might be singing one of his if it's spun on the wheel. So either way, check me out, Alex Duquette. And we'll all have some fun together because even though Weston's going to be universally hated, I will still be loved.
I like that for you. I like that for me.
I like that. That was so like Weston's up on his cloud. He's going, Alex, I really like that for you. As you're just up there, just celebrating all your subs and all the attention you still get. I like that for you, Alex.
I get a sub for every minute, for every mile. I'm gonna go take a midnight cruise right now.
You might as well. All right, guys, thank you for listening to Profoundish. I think we're out of here.
I think we are.
Goodbye. Bye.